It's still, the transition is just not there.
I was going to tell you the other day, when I was late getting on, you know how you make yourself live in the green room like that?
Yeah.
Just to FYI, you can still hear when you make yourself live, unless you mute your mic, you can hear whatever, even though you're not on the screen. Yeah. So like I could hear you clacking around and doing some stuff.
No.
So just for future reference, when you make yourself live in that green room,
hot mic.
Yeah. I don't want you saying something bad about some politician that may get you in hot water.
You mean that I wouldn't say ordinarily just out loud? What would that be then?
That was a joke.
I'm trying to figure out exactly what that would be that I wouldn't say in public. But I mean, there have been exciting things that have happened to people with, the hot mic thing. Yeah. So yeah, that's weird because, before when you put the live thing, it comes up with that little message and says your mic isn't live. Oh, so it says your mic isn't live, but it's live.
I could hear. It wasn't, it was one of the last shows when I wasn't on in the beginning, but I turned the show on wherever, because I was in between the office, and I could hear your jewelry or something, or your keyboard or something.
Interesting. Well, I've got to get Instagram started after I do that. And it does, it's a lot of clacking on the keyboard.
Yeah, I can hear your bracelet moving around or something.
How weird. Okay, well, I'm glad you're telling me this, because this means then that I've got to, because it's distracting. I mean, I don't care that much, but I'm just saying, it's distracting. Plus, there are times that I have a kid who will walk back through here and I think I'm not on. And I'm like, hey, kid, blah, blah, what are you doing? So let's see. Lisa says power outage is expected today, although...
No, but it would, Lisa. It might be enough to power the greenhouse.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I do have a little bit of. There's a little bit of. I was like, oof. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Whatever happens, happens. I can't, But if you see me crying. Next week, if I just come on podcast and I can't quit crying, you'll know what happened. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have a great show this morning, and next week we have a pretty exciting week too. So I'll bring it up at the beginning and I'll bring it up at the end. We have Kendra coming on to talk about education bills on Wednesday, and then we have a special visit at 1:00 on Wednesday. And you're definitely going to want to put that one on the calendar. I mean, I don't know that you'll be out running around too much even by Wednesday, but you want to put that on the calendar. And then on Friday, we'll have Sarah Van Alstyne with, are they still Oklahoma Health and Parental Rights, or did they change everything to MOHA, make Oklahoma healthy again? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, she's going to be on. Oh, and then we'll have a special podcast on Monday afternoon at 1:00, which is going to be a very special podcast and special announcement. So you'll want to put that on the calendar, and I'll be advertising all of those things this weekend while I sit here and look out the window, like everybody else is going to do. I'm in Logan County, and last night military. That's interesting.
Wow.
Well, but we got out of the WEF yesterday, right? Was it the WEF or the WHO?
No, the world. I think it was the World Health Organization.
Okay, he officially withdrew from the World Health Organization.
Even better. But you know what? Just real quick, I know we're going to bring NeAnne on in just a second. I like to see Trump doing all this, but to me, Jenny, part of the problem is he's setting a precedent for whoever, when the Democrats get back in, there's going to reverse everything, just like he reversed everything and go crazy in the opposite direction. Just like, hey, did you see that new governor in Virginia? Just literally do all that, do all those taxes, do all that crazy stuff, do all that stuff after Youngkin. So you had Youngkin, who was a champion guy who did a ton of good. Now you have a semi-crazy legislation group, and that governor literally just go ballistic, on the people over there in Virginia.
Yeah, the swing. I mean,
That's
swinging.
what I don't like.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, we need to get back to the not. But I mean, when you have crazy leftists going into church services.
Yeah.
I mean, where are we? I just don't know. Well,
we're so polarized. We're completely polarized.
Well, and I think sadly the division has gone from, there are way too many emotional people over here who don't apply a lot of common sense. And then there are the common sense people who are just pissed about everything, and somewhere trapped in the middle are most of us. But the crazy emotional wackadoodle running into church services, screaming that it's like the Holocaust and Trump is Hitler has got to stop. It has to stop.
Yeah, agreed. Well, and they better have some type of actual, there better be some, someone needs to go to jail or something needs to happen, because if nothing happens, they're just going to pave the way for them to keep doing whatever, however, whenever, to whoever they want.
Oh, yeah. Well, did anybody ever pay for the January 6th thing? Did anybody pay for all of the essentially peaceful riots where they burned everything down? I mean, nobody, until people actually pay for this stuff, everybody just goes, ha, 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 do it again. I'll do it again.
But Jenny, listen, if you ask a question, if you, Jenny White, asks a question, the state is really going to make you pay for it. They're going to fire you from your job. They're going to maybe stick the attorney general or the DA on you.
Yeah. I mean, there just isn't justice. And that's something that we just we've got to pay more attention to. But let's get NeAnne on here, because NeAnne looks beautiful today. Look at how beautiful NeAnne looks today.
You're so sweet.
No, well, I don't know that that's true.
You have your moments. We all do, right?
Yeah. But I was talking with NeAnne before you got on about, I get so tired of like all these beautiful women on Instagram who have these, like they have their hats on and they look all cute and they're out in the snow and then they take their hat off and they look beautiful with their hat. And I'm like, that's not normal. I don't want to see you people on Instagram. That's not
It's been edited, Jenny. It's been edited. It's not real.
You cannot take your hat off and have beautiful hair.
Right.
That's a big lie.
Yeah.
Exactly. No hat head.
No.
Well, and also speaking of beautiful, NeAnne, my daughter last year, they had the kind of the regional national soccer, college soccer deal up there in Enid at the new stadium, which is just awesome out there.
Yes.
It's been a long time since I've traveled up towards that Enid area. But what I was going to say is, it's literally heartbreaking to me because I'm from the Panhandle, so I know what just Western Oklahoma looks like, and I like that. I actually do love what it looks like out there.
Yes, me too.
Driving up there, I was just in utter amazement at all of the windmills everywhere. I mean, it was just like, give me a break. I mean, I'm just looking over here. I'm like, give me a break. I'm looking over here. I'm like, give me a break. I mean, the closer we get to Enid, it's just like, what is going on up here? It's like 1,000.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely devastating what the county commissioners have allowed the wind turbine companies to do up here.
Well, and it's like when you're driving home, all those blinking red lights, it makes you feel like you're in hell or something.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Or real close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know. And I get to see blinking lights 3 directions from my house. Now they're miles and miles away, but you can see them for miles, right? The only thing protecting my house is the Air Force Base because they have to be 15 miles from the Air Force Base, I believe. That's the only reason that the entire county isn't covered, Michael.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only saving grace we have is the Air Force Base. But yeah, they didn't have to allow those, but they did.
Well, I was just completely blown away as I was getting closer, and I was just like, I just can't believe there's then we turn and we're coming in and there's just even more and more and more, and I'm just like, wow, this is unbelievable.
I know, it's sad.
I was driving to Hennessy for my dentist, and man, as soon as you get off on 55 from I-35 and you start going west, windmill, 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 windmill. There's just never not a windmill. It's just Julie asks, can you hear them?
I cannot hear them, but like I said, they're 10, 15 miles from me. So praise the Lord, no. They're not close enough for me to hear, but I can see the lights all night long.
Yeah, and the lights, I don't think people understand. I mean, because we've talked about all kinds of things about windmills, but we haven't really talked about the light pollution that comes with them. And I'm sorry, but it is just, it's unsettling. I think that's actually a good word.
It is. I agree.
It's unsettling to see all of those red flashing lights because they're not white. They're not, I mean, it's all red flashing lights. Yeah. And it's just really unsettling driving at night around there.
It really is. Yeah, it's scary. And then you have the ones that don't have their lights working, and then you worry about the pilots, flying by. Yep. Hopefully they'll see them and not hit them. But there are lots that don't have lights working, which is a safety hazard. So that bill that went through, didn't it pass last year about the lights, where the lights would only come on if there was a aircraft within such a distance? But I'm pretty sure that was going to be paid for by the taxpayers. Anyway, I'd have to go back and read it, but it was proposed last session. Yeah. But yeah. Michael, next time you come up here, I'll give you a tour of the solar complex that they've destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
You should come out here and see that too.
Yeah.
I wonder what
Imagine
part of the Panhandle
windmills.
Michael is from. I grew up in Beaver County. I hate driving from home to see the West Side because it's all communist wind turbines.
I know. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. I
Texas
agree.
County, Guyman. I was your closest neighbor, pretty much.
That's awesome.
Well, and Hardneck Farm says the same thing, just the horrible blinking lights. And then, as usual, Robert nails it. What's going on out here? Corporate welfare is going on out here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tax subsidies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Julie says we need to shine a light on the legislators who approve these turbines at the state and local levels, as they need to be working, or as they must be working to California, the state of Oklahoma. They should never be elected again. And we, the taxpayers, are getting fleeced. Yeah. It's so, and you had there are some wind turbine bills coming up, aren't there? That you looked into?
So there's 4 bills that refer to solar and wind. Yeah, so I'm going to look at those because those have, a lot to do, obviously, with ag and the effects that wind turbines and solar complexes have on our ag land here in Oklahoma.
What's the lifespan on those turbines, NeAnne? Do you know?
They say 20 to 30, I believe. I have some pictures of some that are falling down out in the Panhandle. I believe it was a Korean company that went bankrupt and abandoned a field out in the Oklahoma Panhandle. And so those are like falling down.
Wow.
1984 says 20 years.
Yeah. And there's a new field being proposed for the Panhandle. I can send you the article on that. Oh gosh, I can't remember how many.
Why
turbines.
would they
it was
even
hundreds more.
Why would they conceive of that when they know that these winter it was Envergy, wasn't it?
Energy.
In however you say it.
Yeah.
Screwed over the people in the Panhandle by saying, no, we're not going to pay, ad valorem tax on these anymore.
That was in Kingfisher. So that was NextEra when they filed
NextEra
in Kingfisher County. I mean, they were already getting tax subsidies from the state of Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
And then when they got their tax bill, they filed at the Supreme Court saying, oh, no, we shouldn't have to pay any of this, So, yeah. But they're already getting tax subsidies. Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
I know. It's very frustrating.
NextEra collecting nearly $200 million per year on OK investment new jobs tax credit.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say this while we have the platform. So many of these new giant transmission line projects, like the one that's trying to get in our backyard over here.
Right.
Part of the reason they're doing this is because they want to move wind energy to someplace else, because we don't use it in this state. I mean, we use, what was the 5% of all our energy or something is from wind. The rest of it is shipped out of state. And so that's partly the reason why we're getting these transmission lines, is they want some way to ship this energy out of the state.
The data centers, or to ship it to Arkansas.
And then too.
Mm-hmm.
So think on that. So we are going to give these people, well, we're not giving them anything.
Let's
start there.
Right.
Stealing money from us to give it to these people. And not only are they not even paying it back in their community, except, oh, hey, we bought some Little League t-shirts. They're not even paying it back really to the community.
Yep.
We're paying for it to be shipped out of state.
Mm-hmm.
Make that make
exactly sense. I know. So they're taking our land, making it non-productive, and then sending it to other states, because those other states need electricity, Jenny. I mean, that we should give up all of our land so that other states can have electricity.
Do you know, I was reading something the other day, and there's states are coming up, they're generating these plans, states are. And they're primarily back east, that are saying that we are going to get so much of our energy from green energy sources. And so that's what's going on in a lot of these cases. There's no way that Minnesota can have enough working windmills to provide whatever it is, 40% of their energy, right? So they have to ship it in from other states. And that's part of what's going on. Can you believe that? Good night.
I know. And thank goodness. I mean, even our president has, his eyes have been open. The truth is coming out. He stood up in front of all the world leaders in Davos yesterday and told them that all of the wind turbines are made in China. And the only one making money off of them are the Chinese, because people are stupid enough to buy them.
How is that not true?
It's true. It is absolutely true. So, yeah.
Well, and how NeAnne, how is our complete electrical grid, the infrastructure, when they know, how is it not just completely protected? All the parts are made, all the big transformers, all that stuff made here in the United States. I mean, how is it not like that when a guy like Trump is in office, when they know they need to harden the grid, they know they need to have a backstock on these huge transformers that take like 5 years to even make? I mean, how do we get there and let companies like NextEra just come into the market and go? And I was just looking NextEra in 2024. So I just looked at their normalized EBITDA, which is kind of their best number probably to talk about their profit. How much profit do you think, what do you think they made? How much money do you think they made in 2024?
I'm going to say nothing.
I'd say 4 billion.
14 billion.
14 billion.
No, 13.2 billion dollars. Are you kidding me? Did your electric bills go down? NeAnne, did your electric bills go down up there?
No, and it's all because they collected all of the green subsidies, the credits from the state. Yeah, none of that.
That's my question, Michael. How can that be profit when they're mainly subsidized? I mean, subsidization is not profit.
Well, the subsidy probably goes in against their cost of goods, what it costs them to operate. So then that just leaves the owners and the shareholders all of the profit. All the profit gets filtered back into them because their cost, if you ran a grocery store and you didn't have to actually pay for all of the goods that were in the grocery store, you just sold them, you get to keep all the profit. That's exactly what's happening with these guys.
That was well said, Michael.
Yeah, I know. And it's kind of, but all of that was either tax subsidies or, because it's green energy and Southwest Power Pool has to purchase green energy first, and the green energy costs 5 times more than oil and gas, but they have to purchase it first, then, they're making a little bit of profit on the energy that they sell because Southwest Power Pool is the one who made that rule that they're going to buy green energy before they buy oil and gas energy, right? And they're going to pay 5 to 10 times more for that energy.
Well, I'd like to see that because I didn't see that. Are they saying? I thought it was a state. What I read was it was a state initiative, like these states are saying. Are making these proclamations, we're going to do that. I didn't know it was SPP.
Well, so if the state tells them, then the state tells, like if Arkansas says we're only going to purchase green energy first. So when Southwest Power Pool comes to Oklahoma, they tell Oklahoma, no, we only want wind energy. We're not going to buy your oil and gas energy. Which, I mean, Michael, really, you're going to have to tell me, how do they divide it to begin with? How do
true.
I think it's just,
an electron is an electron.
Right. I think it's just fake math that they're doing. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, this much was made from green energy. So we're going to, so who's to say once it goes into the line, which is green and which is not,
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very frustrating, but I think it's girl math, Sorry.
I cannot believe you just said that.
I know. It's funny though.
It's the math that girls do who pull off their hats and have perfect hair.
Exactly.
All right. So tell us about some bills, some farm bills that we need to be watching for.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I mean, let me ask you this. I can't believe how many bills you said you read. Are you seeing a trend? Are you still seeing the trend of removal of private property, removal of farmland that we've been seeing the last couple of years?
For just green energy stuff or
anything?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and read them more closely. I skimmed them just to get the idea and was like, okay, is this adding to our freedoms? Is this taking away from our freedoms? Is this adding to government? Is this taking away from government? Is this putting more unelected bureaucrats in charge of what we're doing in the state? Or is this putting our elected officials responsible for this? So kind of like that. I didn't see anything that was removing our farmland. There are, just so you know, and I did not get a chance to read all of them, there are 17 eminent domain bills.
Wow.
And I did not have a chance to read all of them. I have one to talk about because a friend of mine sent me some information on it. And one of your guests last week, y'all were talking about eminent domain and the turnpike and all that.
Amy Serrato, yeah.
Yes. So I was going to pull that one up. But there's 17 eminent domain bills. So you might be able to do a show just on those and breaking those down and see which ones protect the people and which ones protect the government and which ones protect the corporation. You know, but I do have one of those.
What is the one that you want to pull out? Tell us about that one.
So Senate Bill 1556. Let me pull it up. Hold on. I got to get to sorry, now you're going to make me navigate through my computer real quick.
Oh, that's okay.
And so, and on the website, for some reason, it says there's no eminent domain bills, but there's 17 of them. So I asked a friend of mine to help me go through them. But Senate Bill 1556 is, come on, computer. Sorry.
Well, you're already starting your outage, like Lisa warned
I know. No kidding. So this is Senator Grellner, which we know, is likes to work with the people. So this is a new law, a new section of the law for Section 42 of Title 27. And this would require a judicial review. So it means an independent judicial determination of all legal and factual questions relating to public use, necessity, and compliance with applicable law, made without any deference to prior findings, assertions, conclusions, resolutions, interpretations, or declarations. So my understanding of just skimming this is if somebody wants to eminent domain something, they would have to go in front of a judge and prove that it is truly eminent domain, right?
Well, we put we clipped that part of the podcast we had with Amy Serrato because Amy was explaining that that's the way it used to be. It used to be that you had to go before a judge and a jury of your peers.
So that's what I was like. So I heard her talking about that, and she said in other states that it requires a jury. So here's my opinion on this bill. I absolutely think that a jury of 12 of your peers should be added to this bill. Watching how the judges in Garfield County, in Payne County, in Canadian County, in Logan County, how they make decisions on cases. I don't trust one single judge to decide whether or not a corporation can eminent domain. I honestly have no faith or trust in one judge making that decision. I am going to contact Senator Grellner and ask him to add a jury of your peers. If you live inside the city limits and it's a city limit issue, then the jury has to live inside the city limit.
Yes.
If you live in the county and it's a county issue, then the 12 jurors have to live in the county. That way it is absolutely a jury of your peers. and let them decide, does it actually meet the standard? Because I'm sorry, I have lost faith in the judicial and one judge being the person that makes the decision. So I absolutely would love to see a jury of your peers added to this bill.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
well, what did Amy say, Jenny? Didn't she say that was already Oklahoma law, but they just bypassed it for 70 years? They just
No, I think she said the law was literally changed to eliminate that. Now I may be wrong, but that's just what I seem to remember. The gist was that we don't do it I know she said we don't do it anymore. And I think she said that the law was changed and we'd have to change the law back.
And so this would be a new law.
Yeah.
This was filed as a new law. And here's the thing, maybe one of the other 16 includes a jury of your peers. I'm sorry, I just didn't have time to get through all of them, but I knew that Senator Grellner had written this one, and it makes a whole lot more sense. At least somebody is reviewing it and making sure that it's actually in the interest of the public and not just a corporation coming in and saying, we're going to take your land.
Yeah. Well, and I agree with you about, it's interesting what you said. And the jury should be from the same county or the same district or the same, because we're finding that here in Luther, if you're not within a mile or 2 miles of this data center or
you're not going to care.
You don't care.
No.
Yeah, I know. So it should be a true peer, right?
Yeah.
It should be a true peer. Yeah. So again, I mean, I have a friend who knows code and zoning and eminent domain, and so I've asked him if he could maybe help me with those 17. And then, so if I find a better one, I'll let you know. But I knew Senator Grellner had written that one.
Yeah, we need to do something, but it does need to include the jury of your peers. All right. So what else do you have for us?
Okay, so for all of our raw milk lovers, which we know there are a lot of us out there, right? This is our year, apparently, because there are 5 different bills written about raw milk. Now, let me just say there are several House bills. I'm only going to go over 1, 2, 3 of the House bills, really. There's several House bills that have to do, there's, marijuana, wood infesting trees, all that kind of stuff. But the interesting thing is there are 17 shell bills that were filed. So there are
for
17
raw milk?
Oh, no. Sorry. For ag.
Oh, okay.
For ag. Sorry.
Okay.
So there are 17 shell bills that were filed by representatives to hold the place with a number, but there's nothing written in them.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to do this.
Should be illegal, by the way.
Yeah. So 17 of them, right? And so I don't have any idea what they intend to do with those 17. But
we won't know until 5 minutes before session ends. Just
exactly
so you know.
When they want to extend the vote and do it at midnight. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So House Bill 3056 is written by Representative Hardin. Now this is going to amend 2 OS 221 section 7414, which is on milk, right?
Okay.
Right now it says that incidental sales, so this is what he wants to change it to. He wants to include sales of raw, unpasteurized cow milk, goat milk, sheep milk, donkey milk, and horse milk directly to consumers, which will make it legal at the farm, feed stores, restaurants, or at farmers market. So they could sell at feed stores, restaurants, or farmers markets, or at the farm, right? Or via delivery from the farm where the milk is produced.
Yeah, but oh no, you have to go pick it up from the farm. That's
right. Now they can only sell it on their farm, and you have to go there and pick it up.
That's right.
So now, if this passes, the farmer could deliver it to you. I mean, how nice would that be? And it will prohibit the advertising. And then this bill will make it legal for them to advertise that they have raw milk for sale, right? Because right now they cannot legally advertise that they are selling raw milk. So their First Amendment rights are out the door, right? They can't put it on a billboard or anything that they're selling it. But this would make it legal for them to advertise, and they could still make cheese. And the bill as it stands right now limits the sale of goat milk to 100 gallons a month. 100 gallons a month. He's taking that part out. So they can sell in the public arena, they can deliver to you, and they can advertise. And he's not limiting the number of gallons of raw goat milk that can be sold.
And who wrote this?
Hardin, Representative Hardin. So that one, I mean, yeah, definitely we're going to support that one. I am anyway. Sorry. My family loves raw milk. I can't always get it because I don't always have time to get out to the dairy and pick it up, right? Yeah. If I could pick it up at the local co-op oh my Lord, it would be life-changing.
NeAnne, who would oppose a bill like that? And why? Why?
We have been, I mean, I've lived here since 2007, and it's my understanding, way before I got here, they've been trying to get raw milk to be legal in Oklahoma.
Yes.
So I don't know.
The last time I tried it, because I've been involved in this effort to try to allow people to eat what they want to eat without government nanny state telling them what they can and can't eat. Mm-hmm. And so just stop and think about this. If you have a very large dairy in your state that sells a whole lot of
ice cream
and milk products and that kind of thing, I wonder if maybe they would fear competition a little bit. So this is what I've heard. I've heard this from legislators before. Well, this big dairy doesn't want the bill. Well, okay, but you don't get to play that game. That's
what do the people want?
Yeah, see, so many businesses like to use government as a mafioso protectionist squad
for their profit.
Well, but if I get the legislators to say nobody else can do it but me, nanny, boo-boo, it's just freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Everybody should be on the same playing field. And let me just ask. So I have a business that has a gazillion stores in all over everywhere, but I'm very concerned because some farmer in some place is going to produce 700 gallons a month. What is the matter with people? Mm-hmm. I mean, if your product is awesome, you're not going to lose any business anyway because your product is awesome.
Exactly.
So stop.
And I'll tell you, I mean, raw milk, when we moved here, it was amazing to be able to just get raw milk. And my husband could not drink milk. Honestly, he was having gut issues and he couldn't drink milk from the store, but I could go to the dairy and get him some raw milk and he could drink it all day long and enjoy it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so shouldn't I have the opportunity to decide what I'm going to give my family?
Well, and here's the thing, and people are going to say, well, you can get it. They're not telling you can't drink it. Here's the point. Lisa made the point. Why should I have to do that? So you are telling me I can't do it because you're putting an impediment in my way that is going to somehow prevent me from doing it. That's how you're telling me I can't do it.
You're limiting my access. And you're not supposed to be able to do that. Okay, so that was on the House side, 3056. Absolutely. Okay. So Senate Bill 2025 was written by Wingard. This is also 2 OS 221 section 7414. So same section of the law, right? This is going to change it to say that the provisions of the Oklahoma Milk and Milk Products Act shall not be construed to include incidental sales of ungraded raw milk and raw milk products directly to consumers. Yes, absolutely. And this says at the farm or by transport by the farmer or producer of ungraded. So the farmer can transport it. So he doesn't include those places that it can be sold. Maybe we can, combine those.
Yeah.
Two. And it does not allow for the preclusion of advertisement of this milk. So they can advertise now. And it does not prohibit any farmer from making cheese for the purposes of this section. And incidental sales of goat milk, he changed that because for some reason that just listed goat milk. So he's changing it to milk products, where the average monthly number of gallons sold does not exceed 1,500. So he's changing it from 100 a month to allow the farmer to sell 1,500 gallons a month, right? Because the law as it is, they can only sell 100 gallons a month. What? Okay. How is that? How is that freedom?
But that's what I was going to ask. Why are we having these discussions?
Mm-hmm. Why are we limiting the sale of a dairy farmer to sell his product?
Or keeping me from buying something I want to buy when I want to buy it where I want to buy it?
Freedom of association, right?
What? Just big government bureaucratic BS.
Yeah. So do you remember? So Jenny, when did this go into effect? Do you know when they passed the law against raw milk? Because I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but this is breaking news right here on the Jenny White Show.
Jenny White, Michael Grande Show. Let's not forget Michael. He can put on a cap and have non-cap hair. Okay.
Before the government started requiring pasteurization of milk, everybody in the United States drank raw milk.
Yes, that's
just so you know. That's breaking news. Breaking news, right? And our government survived. Like our entire nation survived the raw milk of 1800, 1900. I think it was in the 1920s or maybe it was in the 1950s that they started requiring pasteurization. It hasn't been that long. But before the government stepped in and said, oh no, you're going to have to pasteurize it because one kid in California got sick. Everybody drank raw milk. Your grandparents drank raw milk, people. And they survived. And they probably gave it to your parents, and your parents survived. And then the government took that ability away.
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I actually remember, and so little kid, so this would have been, early 60s, right? To mid 60s. I remember you would get milk delivered, on your porch, basically is what they would do. And you'd put your glass bottles out and they'd pick them up and you'd and that was all raw milk. Right. I mean, my mom did not go to the grocery store and buy milk.
Nice.
She did not. It came from the local producer who brought it and put it on the porch, and we would just put out the empty glass bottles.
Right. So before they started forcing us to kill the food in the milk before we drank it, it was absolutely legal to drink raw milk. And that was the only way that you could get it. Because pasteurization wasn't a thing, right?
Yeah. 1947, Michigan was the first state to do that, and then everyone else kind of followed suit early in the 50s.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's what I thought.
1947. But I swear to God, I remember getting milk on the porch.
Well, but Oklahoma might not have done it. It might have taken Oklahoma a minute, But
it
so
wasn't until in 1973, it says that's when the federal government said all milk in commerce has to be pasteurized.
But let me ask you this question. So I'm going to ask you both the question. Does it really matter what the federal government tells the states?
Right. I know.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Let's say it for all the people watching.
No. Yeah. So we should definitely.
So many of our lawmakers listen to the federal government and go, "Oh, really? You're going to make us do this? Sure." We'll fall right in line like good little soldiers.
Well, it's probably about the same time that they made the food pyramid, and until Bobby Kennedy turned it upside, so it was upside down, and they're like, "Oh, and now we have to pasteurize your milk too," right? Okay,
I'm laughing, but it's not funny.
I know.
And Harnack Farm says we used to get milk delivered to our door in Kansas back in the 70s.
Nice. Oh,
and then hold on, there were a couple of really good ones. Like Robert said, and I didn't know this. Think on this: 1,500 gallons is about 10 to 15 cows.
Yeah.
So talk about a teeny tiny farm. Right?
Well, and right now, under the law as it's written, they're only allowed to sell 100 gallons. So if you have a dairy farmer that has 10 cows, I mean, he can only sell 100 of those gallons right now, right?
So why would you have all of those cows then and feed those cows and husband all those cows?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing about Senate Bill 2125 that Wingard wrote is this is an emergency. So, which is awesome. So once it's signed, that it would go into effect. We wouldn't have to wait months and all of that kind of stuff. So
but do you know what the better bill would be? The better bill would be to tell the federal government to go take a long walk off a short pier and we'll do what we want.
Right. Or just tell, take all of the restrictions out, right? I mean, why were we restricting it to begin with?
Bingo.
So then we have Senate Bill 2071. I've got the circle going. I think this is Murdoch's bill. Fun. Good time. Senator Murdoch has some doozies in here.
Wasn't Senator Murdoch one of the ones that acted as though he was inebriated on the last day? Or was that just me?
It would not surprise me. I still have not had the stomach to go back and watch that video. Yeah,
I think there were a number of them that appeared to have been, and I'm not defaming the guy or anybody else. It just appeared as though there were a few of them that had maybe had a liquid lunch. Yeah,
which wouldn't surprise me. And the legislation that I've seen that he has written for this session, I am going to count those as no across the board on my, because I'm going through and grading these. So this will be a no. So he wants to, Senate Bill 2071, he wants to amend section 7401, 7403, 7415, and 7421 of the Milk Act. He wants to change it. Hold on, let me see where his changes are. Dairy farm, he wants to, right now it says dairy farm means any premises owned or operated by a milk producer. That's going to stay the same, where one or more cows or goats are kept. He wants to change it to say milk producer where one or more hooved mammals are kept. So he just wants to have an overreaching. He doesn't want to take the time to, name the animals that are able to produce milk for human consumption. He just wants to include all hooved animals. He's taking out a section on goat milk. So then he wants to change anywhere it says cows or goat, he wants to change it to hooved mammals. Milk distribution center. Hold on, let me get to the.
Now, what about the hooved mammals? This is about milk from hooved mammals?
Yes. So it's going to cover any hooved mammal that produces milk, right?
Okay.
So that's just, a kind of an overreaching. But here, section 7.415, apparently right now, a fee of 1 cent shall be assessed on each 100 pounds of raw milk produced in this state.
A fee?
Well, that's what's there now. He wants to double it from 1 cent to 2 cents shall be assessed on every 100 pounds of raw milk. So this is going to come with a tax increase. There is hereby assessed a fee of 2 cents on each 100 pounds of grade A milk offered in Oklahoma. So he's going to double that fee. And I'm just looking for the strike through. The Oklahoma Department of Agricultural, Food, and Forestry is hereby designated as the official state agency. The United States Department of Health and Human Services, the United States Public Health Service, and the United States Food and Drug Administration. So he wants to implementing the dairy inspection and grading program under the. So right now, the dairy inspection and grading program is under the jurisdiction of the United States Department of Agriculture as it stands. He wants to add the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the United States Public Health Service, and the United States Food and Drug Administration to our inspection and grading. Wow. So we're going to add taxes. And then we're going to add unelected bureaucrats from the federal government in 4 different agencies.
So I can see how this is going to work. Okay, I've got my raw milk ready to go. Okay, so the USDA inspector is coming. He's coming. Oops, he got waylaid. But then another inspector comes in, he gets his inspection done. We're still waiting on the USDA guy and the other guy. By the time all of them show up to inspect the milk, now my milk is past due.
I mean, and who doesn't want to be under the inspection of the United States Health and Human Services?
Absolutely.
Agency? I mean, they do such good work.
All of those federal agencies do just phenomenal work.
So a couple of things. We have a mutual friend that owns the only donkey dairy pretty much in the United States of America, right?
Yep, certainly in our region for sure.
Right, absolutely. In our region for sure. Mm-hmm. Yes. So this would put not only our dairy farmers, cow, goat, I guess somebody has horse, that it was listed in the other one to protect it, but also donkey milk, right?
Okay.
So this is going to take small producers who are doing this for the betterment of our people in Oklahoma. And in my opinion, raw milk had a very healthful benefit for my husband, right? Other people have said that they have received healthful benefits from just drinking raw cow milk because it's better for your gut. But Senator Murdoch wants to include all hooved mammals and then put them under the jurisdiction of 4 federal agencies. What is this going to do to our small farmers and ranchers in Oklahoma? This seems like a very threatening bill for our dairies here in Oklahoma. Not only are you going to be under the jurisdiction of the Department of Ag, but the United States Department of Health and Human Services and the United States Public Health Service and the United States Food and Drug Administration. Why would you invite those agencies into our state It seems very threatening on his part.
And we know, NeAnne, just how much they love us and care for us.
It's for our own good.
Want us to be safe and healthy. I'll tell you what, think about this, NeAnne. All of those early milk laws, pasteurization laws in one way or another, that came in when technology, not everyone had refrigeration.
Yeah,
right.
Water sanitation was terrible. Yeah. I mean, there was no control over all of the chemicals that they sprayed on everything. Who got the rap? Milk got the rap on all that.
Yeah. Well, and so I have done lots of research on this because, I wasn't raised drinking raw milk, didn't know anything about it. My grandma was, obviously, but then the government said that's bad for you. And so my grandma started buying milk at the store, right? But I started researching raw milk when my husband was having gut issues, and we moved to Oklahoma, and we had the opportunity to purchase raw milk. And what the history shows is once those laws were passed in 1973, the cleanliness of large dairies actually decreased because they didn't have to be clean anymore, right? Because if something dropped in the milk, they didn't have to toss that milk out. All they had to do was go pasteurize it. And then they didn't have to worry about it because they had done what the government told them to do. So my understanding is that these small dairies, and because, stainless steel became a thing and you could use stainless steel tubing. And so the small dairies that had integrity, they remained clean and drinkable, but the large dairies, that went out the door because they knew they were going to pasteurize the milk anyway. And that's just some of the reading that I had done. Anyway, so, I mean, these small dairies, they know that they have to use sanitary and clean conditions because people are going to be consuming their milk. Right?
Yep.
So,
well, anyway. and I'll tell you, when you bring in like the USDA in, like my dad ran National Beef up in Liberal, Kansas for a long time. And I mean, he would literally come home and tell us about how they had 2 inspectors up there, all the time with all the shifts. They literally got off on shutting the line down. They love to shut the line down for hours at a time on just total BS. I mean, that's what those guys do. They love to just interrupt the daily process.
Power trip, right? And so how many, it's just so frustrating that he would actually put that in a bill that he's going to invite 4 federal agencies to come in here and have inspection authority over our dairy farmers.
So I want to throw a couple of comments in here because a couple of these are, they can't tax our food, right? So add the food tax back. Right? I mean,
yeah.
Some of us need to get jobs inspecting milk.
Yes, maybe we could become federal inspectors, right? Okay, so
Robert
absolutely.
Says, hold on, this is one other one. Hold on. Robert says you do kind of need to know your farmer though, because a good farmer will throw out antibiotic contaminated milk. A good farmer will keep unknown cows out of their herd to prevent brucellosis and TB. A dairyman can stay on top of that. So I think there is some of that. But, again, I'm going to go back. When you would go to your local dairy to get milk, right? Or they would have it delivered to you. Everybody knew each other.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I mean, the chances of a dairy men just going, I just don't feel like cleaning up today.
Right.
I mean, we're so low because think about what would happen if they infected their customers and then this was like the whole community and they'd get this terrible name and it would never.
Free market would actually work.
Exactly. Take care of itself. Right.
And that's why I believe that we don't have any community anymore. We're just struggling with community. I mean, there are a lot of different reasons for it, but I do think once the government stepped in and began over-regulating everything,
Oh, yeah.
What do we need to get involved for? The government's regulating it.
Well,
and
like I said,
just
it
helps
takes away
break that down.
It takes away your free association.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the need for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's kind of, let me see, is this the one? So Grant Green wrote Senate Bill 2107. This is also Oklahoma Milk Act. He wants to change it for incidental sales of ungraded raw milk can happen at the farm or by transport by the farmer. It will give them the ability to advertise. And let's see, it will increase the gallons sold from 100 to 300 a month, which I like the 1,500 better.
How about unlimited? How about
Right?
as much
Why
as you
are
can
we
produce?
limiting?
Why are
Yeah.
we limiting this? It doesn't make any sense
Is
other than
Brahms limited?
I'm a big legislator and I want to manipulate
go,
the way
NeAnne.
things work.
Yeah. Do they limit the number of gallons that Brahms can sell or produce? I mean,
Or
come on.
Highland or any of the other big dairies, right?
Yeah. So let's talk to these guys about taking that out. So that's Grant Green's. It's okay. I mean, it gives the farmer the ability, and so I mean that one's all right. But let's combine these good ones and make them really good. So Senate Bill 2125 is absolutely the best for the raw milk people. Murdoch's is the absolute worst for the people. So we need to get that one killed in committee. And here's the thing, ask your senator when they're going into those committees, why is Murdoch inviting the federal government into our state? This is ridiculous. It should be killed on that alone, right? Okay, so I think we got to the bills. Yes. Okay, so that was milk. So yay for raw milk. It's the year of the milk. How about
hysterical.
that? We have a chance.
It is
people.
weird. I mean, it is weird.
I know, it really is. But we have a chance. So let's all get behind Senate Bill 2125. Let's make it where they can sell at farmers markets, co-ops, and not limit how many gallons they can sell. How about that?
And that they can advertise.
And that that one includes that they can advertise. Yes. Okay,
so look at this. This is so true.
Wow.
We also need transparency on these farms to make sure biosolids aren't being dumped. They want biosolids,
100%.
but they want to regulate the milk.
Yes,
see,
exactly.
That's so wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And that and there is a bill on biosolids that I have listed here. So
I hope it just says biosolids are illegal. Period. That's what it needs. That's the only bill we need.
I know it does not. So that's one of the things that we'll talk about when we get there. Okay, so Senate or House Bill 3720 by Representative Hall. Okay, this act shall be known and may be cited as the Access to Healthy Local Food Act. This is a new law. I'm not sure why we need a new law. But this government bigger. A new section of law to codify in the Oklahoma statute. Hold on, let me get past these. Direct to consumer sales of local food shall be exempt from all licensing, inspection, and other requirements of the State Department of Health. The producer of the local food shall complete and pass food safety training from a list of providers, including ServSafe food handler training, approved by the Department of Ag, Food, and Forestry. The food training shall be available to complete online and not exceed 8 hours in length, right? If the food is not a whole, uncut, raw fruit or vegetable, the following information shall be, so then you have to label it. A homemade food product producer may obtain a registration number upon the payment of an annual fee of $15 to the Department of Ag. So not only do you have to register, you have to pay a fee. right?
And you have to do education.
And you have to complete courses. Yes. A farm may sell and serve local food on the farm where the food is grown or produced to an informed end consumer. Well, thank you for giving me permission to sell and serve what I produce on my own farm. Thank you. Thank you. Right?
So let's say this. So NeAnne, you're going into a farm store, because that's about the only place we have to sell these things anymore, but at least they're popping up. So
Yeah.
you go into a farm store and you have, here's some jam right here, and here's some jam right here. This one has no real label on it. It just says great jam. Okay. This says great jam. It was made by this person and this person. It has, all the ingredients in it. And so just as a consumer, what jam are you going to pick?
If that one says grandma's jam and it doesn't have anything else on it, I'm going to take grandma's jam.
Are you? I would at least take the one that I know something about.
Yeah.
I would just want to know what was in it. And I would figure if the person took all the time to put the list of ingredients and things in it, then they were really, working at it to do it. And I would avoid the one that didn't have any information on it. But here's my point.
Yeah. You can do it without registering?
Well, isn't it? Am I not smart enough to figure out what I want?
To make a label. But aren't you smart enough as a producer to make your product attractive to the people that want to buy it without registering with the state of Oklahoma, paying $15 annually, and taking food courses from the Department of Ag? Are we allowed to associate freely with the person who made that jam? And maybe the jam that's not labeled, the person is standing right there that made it, and you can ask them, hey, can you tell me what you used to make your jam? Right? Do we have to have a new law? A new law, Section 5A.1 of Title II, to determine which jam we want to buy? Or which jam we are allowed to buy, and get permission from the government to serve it on our own property?
See, that's the bottom line. So you're selling, I'm buying, but we have the government right in the middle. You have to do this. Well, you can only buy it if it's like this. That's the big problem.
I know.
Get the government out. I am a firm believer that people are smart enough to determine what's good for themselves. Isn't that weird that I just think that about people?
I know.
And you know what? If you're not, you'll end up getting sick and you won't do it again.
Exactly. It's not our fault, right? Yeah. I understand. So this sets up a new law. It requires registration. It requires a new fee. It requires education. So
who's writing that bill?
I'm put this in the know. Representative Hall.
Chuck Hall. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a no for me.
So, Lisa got it. She said, wait, this is a step backwards. We now have protection for the last few years that just a label saying it's made from a home kitchen was good enough. And then Hardnack Farm says, I cannot sell my jams, jellies, pickles, salsas, etc. unless I produce it in a commercial kitchen. Then the assessor would come tax my kitchen, and then my food is taxed. I am being taxed on my chicken coop. She goes on, chicken hoop, greenhouses, everything. So they're making it hard on farmers. I show what I do on this farm on my YouTube channel.
Wow.
And somebody says, does the health department still inspect home kitchens of people who make food items to sell? Not if they are jams, jellies, or breads, baked goods, but everything else, yes.
Yeah. And I don't know a whole lot about that. So I didn't know where all of that stood. All I know is that House Bill 3720 is a new law, requires registration and a fee to register and education. So I'm out on that one. That one's a definite no. So House Bill 3803 is Representative Adams. This is a new law. Prohibited foreign party. Okay, so this is a prohibited foreign party or other party acting in concert with a prohibited foreign party as an agent, trustee, or other fiduciary owning land in violation of this act.
Okay.
Upon conviction, shall be guilty of a felony and shall be punishable by a fine not exceeding $15,000. So he wants to change it. He's defining agricultural land. So he takes 3 paragraphs to do that. Controlling interest. He's adding means an ownership interest of 50%. Critical infrastructure means physically or virtual systems and assets that are capable of destroyed would have a debilitating impact on security, national economic security, public health, or safety, or publicly or privately owned land, and includes, without limitation, a military installation or facility, an emergency service, a power generation location, a utility, a bridge, a tunnel, a railway, a dam, a cybersecurity. Yeah, so he's adding all of this to where foreign agents cannot own land in these areas. Foreign government means any government other than the federal government or any government of a state or political subdivision of a state. And then he's taking out.
But hold on a second. That kind of concerns me a little bit because, out here in the boonies where we've had so much trouble with the medical marijuana issue, it's just how to explain it. So there were attorneys, crooked attorneys who would come in and act as intermediaries between the foreign body and the bank. Well, not even the bank. It would be a real estate company. So the attorney would act as an intermediary between the foreign agent and the real estate company. That was what was going on initially. And I do think there's still some of that going on, but it's always an individual. It's not a government. The Chinese government doesn't come in and go, the Chinese government's buying a tract of land. It doesn't work that way. So
but sometimes, but they are in other states. So they are in some other states. They're seeing this. And so he's adding that you cannot act as an agent and, like a straw man. So he's getting rid of that. Or making it, it's already illegal, but now we have to, reiterate that it's illegal. They can't own more than 50% of a business if they are a foreign national. There was something, let's see. A prohibited foreign party controlled business shall not acquire by grant, purchase, lease, device, descent, or otherwise any interest in land in this state. A party may not hold or retain land as an agent, trustee, or other fiduciary for a prohibited foreign party controlled business in violation of this section. So he's adding quite a bit. So it's going to take a minute to read through this, but it does include a $15,000 fine.
Well, and $15,000 is probably not even enough, frankly.
I know,
because of how much.
What I need to do is look through here. What I loved is what Arkansas did, and Arkansas gave any foreign owner of land a year to sell it to a citizen, or they would take it and auction it. So
that is the way to do it.
Yeah, right. Yep,
so that is.
So this is prohibited foreign party or prohibited foreign party controlled business entity. A prohibited foreign party or party controlled business. Anyway, so this is adding quite a bit to. So it has some teeth in it. 15,000 isn't enough. This is Representative Adams. So
Adams. Maybe what's his first name?
I don't know. It doesn't have their first names on here, and I
Okay.
didn't look up. Anyway, so I would love if Michael could go through this one and see what he thinks.
Yeah, I do need to look at that because I wonder, NeAnne,
Oh,
like,
it's Stacey Joe Adams. That's who it is. I was having trouble putting a face to that. It's Stacey Joe Adams. Yeah.
well, I just wonder what would stop like one of these foreign nationals from going to a state like South Dakota or like New Mexico, where you could have a single member LLC that's not disclosed to the public, like it is here in Oklahoma, and then they could just take their LLC and open an Oklahoma LLC, and you'd never know that was a foreign owned, entity. I mean, it just seems so simple to get around that.
So right now I'm a yes on this, but Michael, I would really love for you to read through that and see what you think. He's adding a lot to that law.
Yeah, and that's to prevent just says what you said, Michael.
Yeah.
So I mean, like in states like New Mexico, because I have an LLC in New Mexico, and there's no way to know that I'm attached to that. Because like if you go to the Oklahoma Secretary of State website, you can type in Michael Grande, and then you can see all the companies that I'm affiliated with.
Right.
But you can't do that in New Mexico. You'd have to get a charging order from a judge. If you even suspected something, that's not going to happen.
Really?
So that's
okay. So maybe if you find those, if he doesn't address that in there, then you could look for those loopholes.
Yeah, 100%.
And let him know, because I mean, anything to keep foreigners from buying our land is absolutely worth it. But it also needs more teeth, right?
Yeah.
Jail time.
Because so many of these transactions are cash.
Yeah. Yes.
The other problem that they have, so they're cash based.
You could solve that pretty easy, I think. If you require every one of those land ownerships, to go through like on the business side, just a normal KYC process, to where you have to disclose up, backwards, through your entity chain or whatever it may be. It'd be pretty easy to put that, have one sentence in there, to address all of those things. So I'll look at it.
Yeah. If you'll look at that. So I love that they're still trying to do that. I wish they would make any owners relinquish what they have right now.
Yeah, because I like that idea. Look, we don't do foreign ownership of land in this state. You have 60 days or 90 days to get rid of it.
Yep. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Okay, so then we have Senate Bill 2031. This is by Kern. This is a new law, but this is, again, and I know we've had these before, country of origin labeling.
Okay.
So he's defining it. Country of origin means the country where the animal was born, raised, and slaughtered. So I would love for him to add born, raised, or slaughtered. Right. I mean, because what if it's born and raised in Brazil and then they ship it here to slaughter it? Are they going to skirt under this law? Because right now it says and. So I'd love for that to be changed, because I raise my own cattle. We eat our own meat. But when I go, to the grocery store and need to purchase something occasionally, I want to know if it was Brazilian, Argentinian, Mexican, or American. I want to know where this cow was raised. So I try not to buy anything if it's not a local producer anyway.
Right. And John Boy was already telling us, Jenny, how they get around that just with the packaging alone.
Right. Yeah. Right. So it should say born, raised, or slaughtered. And maybe if John Boy has some more, words to put in there,
he'd be one to chime in
shipped
on that.
From, whatever, however we can, so that we can close these loopholes that they're going to find.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it came through Mexico, so they're going to say that it's a Mexican and beef instead of a Brazilian beef.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we close those? But meat is cattle, goats, poultry, sheep, and swine for human consumption. Retail, the sale of meat to the consumer. Anyway, so this is a country of origin labeling, which I'm for, which is 2031, Senate Bill 2031 by Kern. I mean, I think it should be a federal law, honestly. It's not that stinking hard.
No, but I I try to eschew all things federal and
I
keep
know.
everything as local as we possibly can.
I
because
know.
Who
So,
has control over that dang mess right now?
well, that's true. That is true. But okay, so Senate Bill 2061 by Senator Nice, a new section of law. This act shall be known and may be cited as the Oklahoma Food Policy Council Act. A new section of law for the statute, Title II, community garden, farm hub, local food, those are definitions. So, a new section of law to be codified. There is hereby created the Oklahoma Food Policy Council within the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry. The council shall consist of 9 members, 9 unelected bureaucrats, mind you. The governor shall appoint 3, blah, blah, blah. The president pro tem shall appoint 3. The speaker of the house shall appoint 3. Let's see. But I can't even find what they do. They're talking about how they get elected. Okay. The Oklahoma Food Policy Council shall serve in a solely advisory and coordinating capacity and shall create networks of farmers to local organizations, strengthen coordination between existing programs, assess the impact of production of sustainable food, assess the utilization of urban gardens and community gardens, connect producers of sustainable food to farmers markets. Yeah, I mean, it goes on.
Gangs of New York or something.
Yeah, right. Okay, so again, unnecessary, more bureaucrats, more money.
New York.
Yeah, right. So I'm out on this one. Senate Bill 2061 is a hard pass. At least registration.
Hold on though, before we get off of this, let's be extremely specific for those who may not understand the raspberries and thumbs down here.
Yes.
Why is this bad?
So this is going to create a new policy. What did they call it? Oklahoma Food Policy Council, right? It's networking. I mean, everything that they said in here is like networking, advertising. If you are a producer of something, you most likely have the ability to network on your own, find where farmers markets are, and and advertise your product.
But not only that, we already have the Made in Oklahoma.
Right.
We already have that.
Yeah.
We pay good money, you and
Right.
me, taxpayer dollars, made in Oklahoma. How can you not just go there and go, oh, look, so-and-so has a farm in the block? I mean, this is so unnecessary and just full of BS.
But it gives the governor, the pro tem, and the speaker the ability to appoint 3 of their friends to this board and make them feel important.
That's amen.
Right? I mean,
well, let's look at Hardback's comment down there too about Service Oklahoma. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that always work out so well for us.
Right. So Senate Bill 2061 is a no for me. I mean, it's unnecessary. It's a new agency. It's going to create a bureaucracy and it's going to cost the taxpayer money.
Yeah. But here's what happens, because I've seen this, and I'm sure you guys have. So I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the other people who have not watched any of the processes of how bills are passed. And you'll hear people. So, it was it Senator Nice or Representative Nice? I don't remember what she is now. Anyway, she would say, here's my bill and I'm explaining it. And somebody else is going to stand up and go, oh, so you're saying this allows Oklahomans who are producers to be able to go out. And so you've got a mouthpiece for the bill. Right. So you've got one of her buddies who's out there going, and see the shine on this. So I'm shining it up. So you'll just love it even more. And then everybody goes, oh, yeah, this is going to be so helpful. And then there are the 12 people who go, excuse me, don't we already have Made in Oklahoma? Why would we have something new? And then everybody goes, oh, but it sounds so great.
Yeah.
This is how this crap gets passed.
Exactly. And it's just a feel good agency. I mean, seriously, it's just a feel good. And it's not going to help the people of Oklahoma. It's just going to create.
It allows leadership. I like what you said. It allows leadership to appoint a bunch of their buddies to a council that they can go, oh, I sit on the blah, blah, blah council. See how important I am?
Exactly. Okay, so to Senate Bill 2108. This is Senator Dusty Beavers. Okay. Senate Bill 2108. This is in reference to feral hogs, which, let me tell you, as much as we can keep them out of the state of Oklahoma is a positive thing. In the panhandle of Texas, where I'm from, they are overrun by these stinking feral hogs. They tear up cropland. They hurt animals. I mean, they're just awful.
They really are.
Right?
People who don't know anything about that should know. They really are awful.
They are.
Don't we have a law that just allows people to shoot them at random? Basically?
So this is what he's amending. So he's amending Section 606 of 2 OS 2021. Anyway, so this is what it says. So except as otherwise specified in the Feral Swine Control Act, any person with permission of the owner may remove feral swine from private or public property during daylight hours. That's what it says, right?
Okay.
So, and then it also says any person who intends to kill or attempt to kill feral swine at night shall obtain a permit issued by the Department of Wildlife, blah, blah, blah. He wants to rewrite it to where it says any person who intends to kill or attempt to kill feral swine at night shall obtain written permission from the landowner or agricultural leasee. So he's taking out that whole permit process, which absolutely less regulation, right? Yep. If I need to go out and shoot swine at night, I should be able to do that to protect my crop, my equipment, my livestock, right?
Well, they're primarily nocturnal anyway.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's really remarkably, I think that's why they did attach the permitting to them, because they know they're going to get money from them, because most people are out shooting them at night because they're pretty much nocturnal.
Yes. So he's taking out that whole permit process to shoot them at night. And then it goes into aircraft and how they can shoot them from aircraft.
Okay.
That was, I think he's just adding some words there. He's not really changing anything. Okay. Yeah, he's just adding So, with a valid permit issued pursuant to this section, control the wildlife species at night. He took that out. Sorry. So the big thing on this one, and then he's taking out Section E, where it says it shall be lawful for any private to have a chamber-loaded firearm on property owned by the landowner and to use the firearm for the purpose of controlling nuisance or damage. Nothing in this section shall authorize any convicted felon to carry a firearm. So he took that out. That was struck through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounded like it was nonsense anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't sound like except during, and then he's adding, except during the regular deer gun season, a landowner, leasee, or his designated agent with written permission from the landowner may control nuisance or damage by feral swine without a permit as provided. During the regular deer gun season, any person excluding landowners and leasees in the field during legal daylight shooting hours in possession of a firearm that is legal to harvest a deer shall be in possession of a hunting license and deer gun license unless otherwise exempt. So I guess they've had trouble with poachers. Okay. Looks like he's trying to fix that. Okay, so that's pretty much. So that's Senator Dusty Devers. I'm a yes on that. Landowners or lessees should be able to shoot feral swine at night without a permit.
This is funny. Networking must now be legislated. That's hysterical. And I love this one. Wendy says, I sit on my own farm council and want to be left alone.
I vote. I vote no on that.
I am my own farm council. I vote no.
Right. Oh wait, let me ask the chairman and my husband.
That's right. Chairman, man, please. Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Right?
I'm laughing about it, but it's just so freaking.
I know. I mean, these people. Their egos. I mean, honestly, seriously. Okay, so now we have Senate Bill 2110. This is Senator Murdoch once again. I'll just tell you before I even start reading it, I'm a no on this. This is amending Oklahoma producers of eggs selling ungraded eggs for their own flock production are exempt from this sub-article. Nothing in this sub-article shall prohibit the sale of eggs produced on the farm and sold directly to consumer. And he's adding on the farm, at a farmer's market, or otherwise off the farm direct to the consumer. So instead of just saying sold direct to the consumer, period, he's adding farm, farmer's market, whatever. Eggs sold under this section shall be produced by hens maintained on the farm from which the eggs are sold. To be eligible to sell ungraded eggs, this is his amendment. To be eligible to sell ungraded eggs pursuant to the provisions of subsection A of this section, an egg producer in this state shall be limited to the sale of no more than 150 eggs per month.
That's ludicrous. I mean, that's
his addition.
Literally ludicrous.
That is his amendment.
Oh, good. I'll sell 5 cartons a month. That's perfect.
Right? Because that's how you feed your family, right? Is selling 5 cartons of eggs a month. So that's his amendment. Yeah. So hard pass on that. That's Senator Murdoch once again, limiting freedoms of freedom-loving Oklahomans across the state.
Because government knows best.
Why should you be able to sell more than 150 eggs a month, Jenny White? Why? Senator Murdoch has determined that it is unlawful for you to sell more than 150 eggs a month. And he wants your senators to vote for his bill, Senate Bill 2110.
Oh, and by the way, Wendy, he's up this year. That's probably why he's doing these nonsensical bills, because this is his last session anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so 2127. So let's just agree to vote no on Senator Murdoch's bills. 2127, another Murdoch bill. This is an act relating to agriculture, creating the Advisory Council on Product Classification, providing membership terms and duties, and allowing for reimbursement of travel under the State Travel Reimbursement Act. So this is a new section of law. There is hereby created within the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry the Advisory Council on Product Classification. The council shall serve solely in an advisory role. The council shall compose of 5 members appointed by the State Board of Ag. They shall be compensated for travel. And that's pretty much all it says. So it doesn't say, oh wait, here it is. To recommendations to the department regarding the classification of agriculture and food products for purposes conducted by the department.
I just can't. I
That's
just
what,
can't.
that's
I
what it
can't
does.
with this crap.
I know. So let's vote no on that one, people.
I had.
What did
Yeah, I was
she
waiting
say?
for you. I was waiting for you to see that.
What did she say? Read it to me.
Make tarn feathering great again.
Yes, that is awesome.
Well, and I was
Um,
just joking about whatever, and she said it's not even an even dozen.
Yeah. Gracie, I was thinking that same thing. They could have at least made it 144 or 156.
Right?
You'd have an even dozen in there.
A baker's dozen, a regular dozen.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I just snorted. That was so Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And then Julia,
Yeah.
who has chimed in, the fact that a group of people could agree on your life is insane and immoral. We need a new plan. That's,
Mhm.
you know, the
Yeah.
whole thing. And then this is a great point. Lisa says, just raise the price of a dozen eggs to $500 each and you'll be fine, Jenny. But you know, again, we're giggling, and I even snorted over this.
It's
but I
ridiculous.
think the thing that Lisa just said is probably one of the most important things that people don't usually connect. The more government overreach, the more these stupid regulations, the more the farmer has to charge to keep up with them, the more you end up paying. So when you go to the store and you grouse about how much stuff costs, start grousing at your legislators.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
They're the ones that come up with this absolutely ridiculous garbage and then go, this is so great because, you know, the government knows so much better than everybody else. It's just,
Right. Right. Okay. So Senate Bill 2128
and
is
yes,
another
Gracie,
one.
they do.
Yeah. So Senate Bill 2128 is Senator Grellner again.
Okay.
This is a new law. This is a new section to be codified in the Oklahoma statute. This act shall be known, it may be cited as the Food Emancipation and Sovereignty Act of 2026. Now, you're going to like this one. You're going to like
Okay.
this one.
Okay.
Okay. So it talks about direct sales, local food, state jurisdiction. This says that food products that are produced, processed, and sold entirely within the state and do not enter interstate commerce shall be deemed under exclusive state jurisdiction.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? I told you.
Yes.
You're going to like this.
Yeah, that's
The
good.
sale or provision of local food products directly from a producer in this state to a consumer in this state shall be exempt from federal oversight, licensing, or food inspection, including but not limited to regulations administered by the United States Food and Drug Administration or the United States Department of Ag to the fullest extent permitted by federal law.
This bill will never get a hearing.
I know, but I told you were going to like it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but it'll never get a hearing.
The Oklahoma Department of Ag, Food, and Forestry shall promulgate simplified safety and labeling standards applicable only to intrastate in transactions. Let's see. No state or local agency shall penalize or restrict a producer from selling local food directly to consumers, provided the transaction occurs wholly within state boundaries. No state or local agency shall penalize or restrict the sales of local producers, whether through monetary sales restrictions or limiting the quantity of products sold. Producers may, but are not required to, register with the Oklahoma Department of Ag, Oklahoma direct food sellers to qualify for simplified labeling. The allowable state fees or permits for producers shall not exceed a $75 one-time plan review fee, $75 credential fee, and $75 annual renewal fee. This act shall become effective July 1st. Okay, so that's Senate Bill 2128 from Senator Grellner.
Yeah, I still don't know why we have to pay the state anything for some kind of license.
I know, right? So maybe we can talk to him about that. And it's
not
only,
going to get a hearing because
right. It's too much freedom.
Most of those people down there really honestly believe that federal government comes before states' rights.
Yeah.
And so they just literally, how could you say that the Department of Ag shouldn't regulate blah, blah, blah? Because we shouldn't. I don't even know what to tell you there.
Mm-hmm. I know. Okay, so that's Senate Bill 2128, Senator Grellner. Love it. We'll see if maybe he can make some amendments to those fees, get rid of the fees.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another
thing they use fees for
right.
is to pay for the regulatory agency.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that's what it's for. And if we're not paying any fees, then we don't have a regulatory agency. It's not that hard to figure out.
Right. Okay, so Senate Bill 2134, this is another Senator Murdoch bill. This is a new law. Honestly, I am so stinking confused by this one, but so the State Board of Agriculture shall promulgate rules regarding the humane treatment of livestock and poultry involved in vehicular accidents. The Oklahoma Department of Ag, blah, 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 provide guidance and recommendation to county emergency management organizations in the humane treatment and disposition of such livestock and poultry if there's a vehicular accident. Any wrecker or towing service that responds to the scene of an accident involving livestock, upon being made aware of such involvement, immediately contact the emergency management organization. The emergency management shall assist with the humane treatment and disposition of such livestock.
What is even the point of this?
I like I said, I was confused.
I wonder if it came from something like this, because we've heard of this happening, where a trucker will be carrying, a load of cows to the feedlot or, to wherever. And there's an accident, and several of them are killed or maimed or something. And I don't know, maybe some law enforcement personnel have put these poor things out of their misery, and then the owner comes back and says, "You can't just shoot my livestock." I mean, I don't.
Okay, but this is specifically for the wrecking service. This bill is written specifically to educate the wrecking or towing service.
So one wrecker pulled up on it. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So here's my deal.
We don't write bills for one thing. It just, doesn't.
We need a new state law that says that the agricultural department is going to educate our county emergency management director on how to direct a wrecker or towing service to respond to a wreck with livestock. Okay, how about this? Have the agricultural department write up a couple of paragraphs and stick it in the book that they give to the county emergency management people and educate them.
Yeah.
How about that? How about we not write a new law?
Yeah.
How about we just educate them?
Yeah, see, that's all stuff that can, and that you make a really great point, NeAnne. That's this kind of stuff that you should just be doing within your local sheriff's department or, fill in the blank. That's just it's just asinine.
Exactly. So I'm very confused why this takes an action of our legislature when you could just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, emergency management people," because the emergency management people, they just had a meeting like last week. They just met with the county emergency management people. Why didn't they teach them about these wrecking services then?
Yeah.
Right? But let's pass the new law.
That's too easy.
I know. I'm sorry. Trying to make it logical. I know.
Yeah,
okay, so and that's the problem, right? We don't want to use our logic. So that one's definitely a no. And then, so this is Senator Grellner, Senate Bill 2141. This is our humanure or human waste. Which let me just say a couple things. Number one, We live in a first world nation. We are not a third world country. It's absolutely disgusting that anybody in the state of Oklahoma would use human waste on their cropland. So
well, but
gross.
not if you're getting it for free.
It is still gross. I mean, gross. We are a first world nation, right? You have absolutely no idea what is in that poop. Number 2.
Ha, I get it. Number 2.
Number 2.
I can't believe Michael didn't even laugh at that. That's the perfect male joke right there.
Right?
I have lots of boys, and anytime you say that.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have not watched Senator Grellner's interim study on biosolids and human manure from September of last year, you need to go watch it. There are at least two options to get rid of human waste that are very inexpensive, good options, clean options, inexpensive options, options that can actually help your community make money if you decide to go with that one. But so there's absolutely no reason for this. None. 0 reasons for this. But Mayor Holt and the city council in Oklahoma City, I guess, have determined that instead of using ways to get rid of these biosolids inexpensively and without contaminating land, have decided to crap all over the counties surrounding them.
Yeah.
Literally crap all over the counties around them. Yeah. They could invest a very small amount of money and get rid of the biosolids without ever having to put it on land and harming people and livestock, which has been proven in Texas. And it's just infuriating. But Senator Gellner is at least doing something, right? I wish this bill banned it completely, but we know for a fact that that would not be heard. We know for a fact that the senators that don't give one whip about whether your family is healthy or not would even hear this. So thank you, Senator Grellner, for, doing something. So Senate Bill 2141. Sorry, I'm using my phone and I got a phone call. Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Yeah, you're gone.
Yeah, you may have to go.
There we go. There you go.
There she is. Okay. Yay!
Back. Sorry, I had to use my phone because I'm using my computer. Anyway, so this says no human-derived biosolids or septic shall be land applied to land in the state unless the material has been sampled and analyzed for PFAS by a laboratory accredited for PFAS in solids using EPA method 1633. PFAS testing at a minimum frequency based on annual production, analyze for PFOA, PFAS, PFX, PFHXS, PFNA. Test results shall be reported to the Department of Environmental Quality. So at least, and it goes on, there's more, but
Robert made a comment in the end. When your phone went off, your mic went off on your ear or something because your volume's a lot lower than what it was.
Oh, sorry.
I mean,
isn't that weird? Because I can hear her fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's still the same. It's still the same for me, and it's probably the same for Robert and everybody else. It's like your phone is just picking up the sound rather than your mic.
Oh, darn it.
Well, just unplug it and plug it back in.
Okay. Oh,
try that.
Let me see.
Guys, I can hear her fine. That's so weird.
Yeah, no, it dropped quite a bit when you came back on after that call.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's still kind of the same, but
okay, here. Just unplug it. I'll just use the regular. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's still about the same, but I mean I can hear you, but it's just not like it was loud and clear before. Now it's just kind of.
See, that's so weird because I can hear you just like it was before.
Yeah.
Well, I can talk louder. I can talk louder. Okay, so again, Senate Bill 2141 is the only one that's been introduced for biosolids. It's a start. But I mean, obviously we wish it was banned.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's see. Maybe we can add some teeth to it. I don't see any fines, or, I mean, maybe that has to be written through the DEQ or, something like that.
Well, and here's the other thing, because this is true. Wendy is right about this. There needs to be transparency for who uses it.
Yes.
That's the other thing. And we don't seem to be able to get that bill heard. And there have been others, including, I think, Jim Shaw, who wrote a bill about at least say that you're using human poop on your stuff.
It should be required in labeling, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I want it banned, like we did in Luther, and in Luther, and I have to remember exactly what the ordinance says. I'll have to go back and look it up. But if you dump that crap in town limits, it's a $1,500 fine. Nice.
Yeah. No, there needs to be teeth. There needs to be labeling. Agree. Totally agree. Okay. So this is another creative, confusing Senate Bill 2163 by Senator Roland Peterson, which is my senator. Let me know if you can't hear me again.
Everybody else says that they can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay. So this is a new section of law. A new section of law to be codified in Section 2-35 of Title II. This is all gates that are part of an enclosure or barrier designed to contain livestock shall remain closed at all times, except when ingress or egress is in progress. Say that 3 times. Maintenance is occurring. Livestock are being moved. The livestock owner, utility company, municipality, or other agency has a reason to access the enclosed area. A person shall be in violation of this act if he or she knowingly or maliciously leaves a gate open, damages any part of the gate, allows
this can't even be. Who wrote this thing?
Roland Peterson.
Oh, for God's sake. That can't even be. So aren't there laws? So let's say a cow, let's say I have a sheep get out of one of the pens and somehow the gate gets left open and they get out onto the street. Somebody hits it while they're coming and it damages their vehicle. Well, once they track me down, they're going to sue me for the damage to their vehicle because my lamb, which they should not be, were wandering around in the street.
Right.
So is this law necessary?
No. So my understanding, I asked our insurance agent, my understanding from what my insurance agent told us when we were getting is if your livestock gets out accidentally without you knowing it and somebody hits it on the road, they cannot sue you.
Oh, really?
Under Oklahoma agricultural legislation.
Oh, I thought they could.
So it would be just like them hitting a deer.
Okay.
Same. So they can't. So now if you knowingly let them out and run them down the road on purpose, they can sue you. But if your livestock breaks the fence and is hit by a car, you are not liable, right?
Interesting. Okay.
You did not do that. It's just like hitting a deer or an antelope, in the panhandle or, some other kind of, or a feral swine. You're not responsible. According to my agent, because I asked him, because we have good fence, we have good gates. We don't live on a blacktop, so we don't have as much traffic, but I'm like, oh my gosh, just explain to me if one of our cows gets out, you are not liable. So, but this is pertaining to somebody. doesn't say knowingly or willingly. Oh, knowingly or maliciously leaves a gate open.
Maliciously leaving a gate open.
Right. So, but this does have teeth, Jenny. It says it shall be a misdemeanor, and upon conviction shall be punishable by a fine not to exceed $1,000
How
or jail.
absolutely ludicrous.
Or jail for 180 days. Third and subsequent convictions shall be punishable by a fine of $2,500.
Okay, that's the most probably in the top 5 most ridiculous bills you've mentioned today.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we're coming up on 2 hours.
Yeah.
So give me one of your last either worst bills to watch out for or best bills. What do you have?
I don't know how to stop the calls. Okay. So, can you hear me?
Yes. I can.
Hold on.
Can you hear
me?
Michael?
Dang it.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
What?
You're good. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, hurry up. Sorry. I don't know what's going on, people. Should I go out and come back in?
No, you're good.
No,
go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I can't hear you, but that's okay.
Uh-oh.
I'll listen another way. Okay, so I'm going to just move on to the green energy real quick since we're getting close to 2 hours.
Okay.
Is that good? Let me find them. And there's only 4 of those.
Maybe that switched back to her headphones.
I wonder.
Okay.
She took her headphones.
So House Bill
Maybe so.
2972. I don't know why I can't hear y'all.
Put your headphones back in.
I'll try them. See, and technology doesn't agree with me, just so you know.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
And it's back on the mic now on your headphone.
It is. You can't hear us? Uh-oh, she still can't hear us.
Can you hear me, Jenny?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you.
As long as I don't know. Next time I'm just going to use 2 computers. How about that? So we're going to look at House Bill 2972. This is from Hayes, Representative Hayes. And this says the Board of County Commissioners of each county is hereby granted authority to adopt, amend, and enforce ordinances regulating the siting, construction, and expansion of commercial wind energy facilities and commercial solar energy facilities within the unincorporated areas of the county. Ordinances adopted pursuant to this section may include, but are not limited to, setbacks, height, noise, approval, permitting, application. The Oklahoma Corporation Commission shall maintain a publicly accessible and searchable database. So I like this one, and this also says legal voters of any county are hereby granted the authority to propose and enact county ordinances by initiative petition regulating commercial wind energy facilities and commercial solar energy facilities located within the unincorporated areas of the county.
That's a good one.
This is absolutely necessary because right now our county commissioners have limited, but also the people have nothing right now the way it's written. So I like this. I might dig through it and see if there's any additions to go with it that make it even better. But I do like that the county commissioners can do that in the unincorporated. And that will be helpful for all of us. Maybe we should add data center siting in there also.
Yeah.
transmission line siting, all of that. So I need to look through that, but definitely House Bill 2972 by Representative Hayes. Okay, Senate Bill 1510. I'm going to try not to interrupt you if you're talking. I really hate my phone right now. Okay, Senator Hamilton, Senate Bill 1510. Prior to commencing construction of a wind energy facility, the owner or operator of a wind energy facility shall file a surety bond, which right now the state of Oklahoma does not require bonds for wind or solar. For some reason, and I'm going to have to ask him, he's only requiring a $100,000 bond. $100,000 doesn't go a long way when you are building something like this. So then at towards the bottom, he adds in solar also. I like this one. The state of Oklahoma does not require a bond at this time. So if they file bankruptcy and walk away, there's nothing to help clean it up. I think it should be at least $1 million. $1 million. I don't think $100,000 is going to go very far. Yeah. So, okay. Senate Bill 1917. Y'all just talk amongst yourselves while I'm. So this is Senator Bullard. I'm just flying blind here, flying blind. Senator Bullard. This is, let me see. Oh, notwithstanding any other provision of the law, a solar energy device is defined, blah, blah, blah. Oh, where is the teeth of this? Okay. Agricultural land includes any land used primarily for farming, ranching, or other agricultural purposes as determined by the Oklahoma Department of Ag. Notwithstanding any other provision, a solar energy device shall only be permitted for installation on the following: single-family residential properties and commercial or industrial properties. So this is saying that they cannot use agricultural land for solar facilities. Love this bill. This is the only way we're going to save our ag land, because our nobody other than this is doing anything to save our ag land, right? The USDA has said, the federal, USDA has said that agricultural land should not be used for solar facilities.
Yeah.
100% agree. If we're going to continue farming and ranching, then we have to have land to do it, and covering it with solar panels and destroying it for the entirety of, the rest of the world, we're not going to be able to have ag land. So love that one. That's Senate Bill 1917. And then one more, Senate Bill 1935, Senator Murdoch. Let's see what Murdoch has to say on this one. Oh, Commercial Solar Facility Setback Act. This says, hold on, let me get original generation. Let me get past the definitions. Okay, so for some reason, this has setbacks. Let me find this. Utilities scale solar facilities, excluding residential, shall not be located within 125 feet of a participating or non-participating residence unless this requirement is waived in writing. 125 feet. Come on. But for some reason, he defines residence, but a residence does not include any dwelling held primarily for seasonal, recreational, vacation, or secondary home use, any mobile home, manufactured home, house, trailer, tiny home, recreational vehicle. So if you live out in the country and you have purchased a manufactured home, you have put down a slab, you have hooked it up to plumbing, you live in it, that's your house, that's your primary residence, you're raising your kids in that home, you are not included in this setback requirement. I don't know why he did that. I mean, a manufactured and a mobile home. My grandparents bought a manufactured home in Lubbock, Texas, and moved it out to their property and lived in it for, 50 years. So how is that not a permanent residence?
Yeah.
So he's excluding those. I don't like that one. 125 feet. I mean, why are we bothering? So again, no on Senate Bill 1935. So hold on. So I'm done with that. I'm going to put you on Facebook so I can hear you. And we can finish up because for some reason my phone hates me.
Well, that is
Y'all go
so
ahead.
weird that it would just shut off like that and then you couldn't hear. That's just a weird one. Okay, well, while she's doing that, and I do need to ask you, NeAnne, so I'm waiting for you to get back on. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like we should do some kind of music.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Thank God. Okay. So are you, now that you've given them to us, I was trying to write down some of them, but are you going to have a list that I can put out?
Oh, sorry. Okay. So we have the new program that we've done through the Freedom Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go on there and grade the bills. And you're going to do that too, right?
I'm going to try. But that's why I was thinking if we had something that we could put out, just at the beginning of session, that would, like Wendy says, she'd love to have a list. If we just had a list that said, this was good, vote for this was good, don't for that. I mean, I've seen on Sandra's page, she did one just for the milk bills where it was a whole bunch of them and that, it said check mark, that would, for the ones that were good, and then a big X for the ones that were bad. So can we do something like that?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And yes, I just don't know exactly when I will get it out, but yes, for sure. And we just need to decide, and then links, we can share links to the website where we're going to be grading them.
Yeah. And Mr. Brightside said, can y'all make a short video even of the yay and nay list with bill numbers? And I mean, that wouldn't be a problem to do. That's not a problem to do at all. I just need to, get the list from you and then I'll put it together.
Yes. Well, and I can shoot you my list that honestly, I went through these bills. I read, skimmed through them. Now, everybody needs to know that I just skimmed through these real quick and looked for flags or, positives. And obviously they're going to be amended and they're going to be, all that kind of stuff. And we still have to wait on those 17 shell bills for the ag side that the representatives threw in there. So definitely there will be stuff coming. And then we need to contact our legislators and ask them to amend the bills that we liked. If we needed, like Michael needs to talk to them about how to close those loopholes for foreign land buyers and let's add some teeth to some of these bills. Let's change some stuff, but we have our hard nose, right?
Yes. And I definitely think even if you just put the ones with the hard nose out, at least when you see them, you can go, no, that's a no. And I also think too, it helps to publish those in advance because then legislators know which bills we're looking at. And it's harder for them to just get them out there.
I'm delayed just a little bit, so I'm answering you, and you've already said it. See, I need a secretary that knows how to work technology so that somebody can keep me.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's hop off of here for now, NeAnne. But you've done a great job today. So appreciate you. And I'll tag you in any clips that I get done off of this. And then, but if you've got a list, when you get a list together, just shoot it to me and I'll make something up.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
That is the problem with technology. It's just one of those things that sometimes these things happen and you don't even know why they happen. And then it's just, kind of a trick. But
well,
I think
we could have
job.
I think we could have fixed her. Just if she went down to her settings, she could reset the output of her speakers.
Possibly.
So,
but it's about, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. I mean, I'm even like getting antsy and ready to be
I was going to ask, unfortunately, that delay happened right when she was going through those last couple bills, Jenny. But you think on the one, the second to the last one, the 1917, I think, the solar on ag land.
Yes.
Do you think, is there some way that they can get around that by rezoning partially?
See, I don't know.
Some of that ag land?
I don't know. I would have to actually read the bill and see, what that is. But I think the most important thing is legitimately, so many of us don't even understand why a bill is bad. And I'm definitely going to cut out some stuff in this particular podcast where we talked about that, because if it creates a new state agency, the answer is no, period. 100%. There's not maybe. No, it's just a hard stinking no.
That's just extending that good old boys network.
Yes.
That's literally all it is.
Yes, we've got to stop doing this. That we have somehow, hold on, I don't remember, but it's over 500 boards and commissions in this state.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
So NeAnne says they can. This is an answer to your question about rezoning. They can, but most counties don't have zoning in the unincorporated area, and the underlying zoning is agricultural. Because I know that's the way it is in Luther. We just went through, and anything that didn't have a house on it was ag land, period.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I just don't want them to have some kind of back door, in there to go ahead and legally have some technicality that they can go ahead and install.
Dude, they're going to find some kind of back door, and that's what their attorneys are for anyway. So, that's why we have to be so engaged and watch what's going on, because this is what these people do. It's all about money. If they can make money off of us, they're going to figure out a way to do it. But anyway, she did a great job. I will get those from her. I will get those out so that we can at least watch those. Hopefully some of those won't even make it to the committee stage, but we'll see. If they're in leadership, they always tend to. So yay for that. Anything else that you need to add today?
No, I'm going to, on one of the next podcast that we do where we got a little bit more time, I want to show, I went back, because we had that lawsuit with Edmond Public Schools over all the COVID stuff.
Right.
So I found, I was looking back through my cloud drive that we shared with all the parents that were in that. And I found one of the documents that I just want to show how bogus, just how completely bogus all those tests were, Jenny. I want to just show this document. It's going to blow your mind when you see the appendix of this document. And it was one we were going to use in the court case, but actually we didn't even need to. I was going to testify, I was going to be kind of the expert witness on this, but we actually didn't even need it because we had already won. So, but I want to show everybody this because it'll blow your mind.
Wendy says, thank you so much for fighting for we the people. Well, somebody's got to do it, and you and I are happy to do it. And
at least, I'm glad, we're seeing more and more activation at the grassroots level. We've got people like NeAnne that are out there just, doing what she does, protecting her area. You got all the Pike Off people. We're getting more and more traction when it comes to us and local and actually, paying attention to the government. And that's what we've got to do.
Yes. Well, 100%. All right. Well, I guess I'm hoping I'm going to be able to see you on Monday, but snowpocalypse being, what it is, who
Should.
knows?
That's going to be a very,
I may never
very
see you
special show.
again. Honestly, weather drama drives me crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's weather. Okay.
Hey, it's already raining, kind of sleeting in Dallas. I just got a phone call from a broker of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's not doing anything out here
No,
except blowing a lot.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
other
it's coming
than
up
that,
from the south, so we got a ways. We got a ways before it's going to hit us.
all right. Well, and I've got to go. I have to go to see Claire Kennedy at 2:00 with Betty White and have her wedding dress looked at. So this is going to be a big, huge day. So we're going whether snow or not. So you know how that works.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being on. We will have a special announcement, special podcast at 1:00 on Monday. Then we'll have our regular podcast on Wednesday, which is going to be Kendra with education bills. Then in the afternoon, we'll have a special podcast with Katie from Visit. And that's going to be a big one. Big one. Oh, not a good one, but a big one. And then on Friday, we're going to talk about health care bills. So hopefully, I think we should have a tar and feather class by Robert at the Liberty Conference.
There we go.
I'm all with that. Hopefully Robert
that.
will show up and teach us how to do that, because I think that would be phenomenal. And you as well, Gracie. And thank you, everybody, for being with us. And we will see you again on Wednesday. And stay safe. And don't make the government try to make you stay safe. We'll see you again on Monday at 1. Bye.